In the line of kings who were lining up, the red one represented the king.
Yes.
So that means that this is closer to you than this one,
Yes.
the black one, right?
Yes. This is the.
It's good. It's good.
C'est déjà en ligne. Ouais. Et Shimon, il faut aussi que tu aies une photo là. Si tu veux.
Non, moi je suis pas malgache. Moi.
Malgache, toi.
Comment je fais pour enlever
le live?
Non, pour voilà. Ok, Rabbi Nathan, you are on direct.
Online now.
Yes.
So, Baruch Hashem, Toda.
I know you want to kill this pizza.
So, should I just get started?
So
Is this one on?
People is already on Facebook.
Is this one on?
Yeah. No. Just only this one.
Only this one?
This
Okay,
one.
בסדר. תודה רבה. תודה רבה, Sadiq. Shalom לכולם. Welcome once again to our limud, our shiur. I want to believe that we are all well. Baruch Hashem from Botzena Kadisha, Yerushalayim, we are well. Rabbi Shimon, do you need the picture? I think so. בסדר? טוב, תודה רבה. תודה רבה. The seder or the order is always to start with halachot, but because of time, we will skip halachot for today. We go straight to our limud. A while ago, we we have just learned from Rabbi Pinchas, Rosh Yeshiva Botzena Kadisha. It's about the rebuilding of Beit Mikdash, Ol HaMikdash, the temple we are waiting, the third temple that we are waiting for. And we have learned from the books that unless we accept, meaning the nation of Israel, Israel, accept the reality that our mission in this world, the mission of Israel, the nation of Israel, is to accept convert. We will not be able to get a period and a person who is called the Moshiach or Geulah. Geulah shall not happen. Why? Ben Shchai went on to say the nations of the world have to consent to the rebuilding of the third temple. The question is why? Because it is written in one of the Navim, meaning the prophets, that the temple of Hashem will be the house of prayer for all nations. Why am I bringing this point? Because our limud is a continuation of what we have learned yesterday. Why do I bring that aspect in the continuation of our limud of yesterday? It's because of the slander we have heard. It's because of the slander. There's a connection. Many of us in the nation of Israel have got difficulties to accept people who wanted to convert. And we put so much on their way. And they're bringing a lot of pretext. Somebody's not ready. Somebody, what? We have got experience. I passed through some of those things. Well, yes, it's correct that there are people truly who are not really ready, or they have got their personal agendas, personal reasons, and personal interest. But it's a little bit, it's a reality, but it's a hard truth to tell that the particular conversion from Africa is always being perceived, and the power to be, all the authorities trusted with the responsibility, wherever we find ourselves, we are always skeptical when it comes to, and we have got prejudices, for that matter, on the basis of either color of skin. There is a Gomorrah that if you find somebody wanting to convert from rich countries or rich family, you convert. Because you know that the reason given there is that, because he doesn't come with any ulterior motives. Because what does he need? What does he want? This is a genuine. But if the honesty of a person is based on his background, based on money, something is wrong with our reasoning. I think so. I do not need to prove anything. We have just to look at the text. We have to look at the text. But Pinchas gave us a limud on this thing about Avodah Zarah. And it has got also, not that it has got to do with kesef, but much more of Avodah Zarah is connected to money, to anything that you and I come up and connect that to money. Why am I bringing all this? It's where it's connected to our limud that we are going to learn from. Continuation of our limud, the limud of the Parasha of the week. The pages are in the group. 2 pages I have posted in the group. And please, if you, not that if, I start where I have marked with a with an open bracket, where it starts with Vechen. Is where we are going to start from. Ari HaKadosh, in his book, Sefer Halikutim, reads as follows. Vechen zazru bevnei hashpachot הפך השלום והכירו עבד שהוא בן חורים הפך עבדות. You remember we talk about Yosef, the story of Yosef being sold by his own brother, the brother where they thought, the Torah says, they thought, and we saw from a different angle about the word chashvu, that it has got also to do with dinim, judgment. Again, what brought them to think is what I have started with, prejudices. You look at into the situation, you look at in any situation, and then you look at into that situation with the prejudices. And they started judging another person, not favorably, as Chazal have recommended, advised. He said, we have to judge your fellow favorably. What is that pasuk saying? Let's try translation. They also derided. They only did not. Yesterday, now Alimud on previous passage, he used the word in English slender. They were slendering. But here now we see he used another word, zazlu. Zazlu. It's very, very interesting. Very interesting. When you look at the word Zazlu, the gematria value, it's very, very interesting. The gematria value of that, if I'm not mistaken, is 80. Because the two Zalzel, each one is each one of is 37. This is 74, which is Ed, witness. The 74 plus verb gives us 80, which is a mouth. Exactly conform exactly to what was with slender. Okay, there are many ways of slendering somebody, but the tongue. They derided. What is it, derided? Derided, there are so many interpretations or many explanations of this word. Derided is when you look somebody down, making mockery of another person. And you make somebody to feel unimportant in your eyes. I remember the other time I went into one of the Beit Knesset, and somebody came closer to me, giving me an impression that he wanted to hear how I would read my my shidduch, how I'm davening. Much more it comes when you said, I'm a convert. Oh, okay. Okay. You're a convert. The spirit of Esav that has taken our mind, Amalek, that has taken our mind. You go outside there, a person who used to be your friend, for example, used to be a friend, could be your relative. It could be that, well, perhaps you have done him a favor sometime in the past. But as soon as he is showered with some prestige, some honors, as they call it, he developed a cold feet. Even in he greeting you, because it changes. It makes you feel that you are not worthy of his presence. That's how we are. We slender, we demean others. Why? I'm just simply expanding the idea to bring this lofty idea, this lofty teaching of the Torah, of what Ari Kadosh has brought it to us. What did they do? Let's go further. They also derided, not only slander, but it derided the sons of the handmaidens. Remember, these are the Bilhah and the Zilpah. This is also clearly a violation of principle of peace. Violation of principle. What does it have to do with anything? Ari Kadosh went on to say, they called them slaves, meaning they called them slaves when they were in effect free men. The opposite of slaves. What is being said here is the story, or the narrative is yourself. It's related to yourself. They accuse yourself of slandering, derided his brothers, particularly when you look at this text, those from Leah, they were accused of making a mockery of those who coming from Zilpah and Bilhah. Yeah, it's common. It's common with the advent of religions, particularly Christianity, that has fought so much against the culture and traditions of nations. It's very well known. They don't even hide it. They have advocated and said, look, they brought a concept of polygamy. something that we do not know, for example, in Africa, and I'm so sure that, well, in India as well, we do not know this concept. If a man wants, no matter how many wives he wants, it's a taboo. It's considered as an evil in the eyes of the imposed religion. So when we look at men with children from other women, I'm saying those he married, for example, in tradition, we still have got some community who preserve the traditions. They would marry at the civil court. They would marry, for example, in the church, whatever. I'm not advocating that. I'm just giving a picture, drawing you a picture to see. So when we look at a man, have got only children who were born from the so-called marriage in the church or the civil court. These kids are being judged so harshly. You were born outside of marriage. You are what? You are what? You are what? It's pain to the kids. A man is being discredited wherever he goes to. He likes women. He is what? He is what? Yes, you are being seen, judged, based on the what? Based on through the eyes of the religion that was imposed on you. This is exactly what is going on here. Is the idea that the Torah brought. Same situation. Yes, they are the sons of slaves. Yes, they are not worthy. Okay, that is my word. But the same idea. We take more two passages of the same page that I've sent, and then we go back to the board. Bezrat Hashem. Ari HaKadosh went on to say, V'yesod nikra kol. The yesod is called kol. What is kol? Everything. They said all, everything. Kolel, kol, hamidot. For yesod, include all the emotional attributes. What are these attributes? We will go back to the board very soon. Bezrat Hashem. Last passage, we are going to end. V'chashvu, he reminds us the word he started with. V'chashvu shehem yeshlimu chasronam benehem ve'az ve'itnachilu oto chashvu lihiyot be'ali ha'achove ishelo. They thought that they themselves could to complete what would be lacking. I don't know what he is talking about. Chashivu lihiyot bali. החבר שלו. That they would supply this attribute of brotherhood. They therefore plotted against him. They say somewhere there, we have got a Kaddish that we do not recite until you have got 10 men. 10 men. What are these 10 men represent? Yesterday we have alluded to that you have got 10 Sefirot. You have got 10 commandments. Which one is reflecting which? Certainly, it's the same idea. This is the order, the supernal idea, all order, principles. These principles do not change. Because these are the conduits of the light from the Ein Sof to this level of existence. Now, yesterday we mentioned about Yosef. Yosef, just as I confirmed this morning with my Rosh Yeshiva of Pinchas, what is Yosef? And I was apprised, I was informed, I was directed, I was guided that Yosef is a light. How is this light? We have been learning from Ada rabbis of Bosina Kadisha that any yichud to take place in this world is influenced, mashpia, is influenced from Ketel down through the Abba, Ima, and so forth until it reaches the Za, until it goes to Nukba. A proper yichud is not about pleasure. It's not the pleasure that I benefit from any action, and it's not the pleasure that you accrue. A very sound and the holy union, it should be influenced from the upper world. So the light of Abba, meaning the Yud, and the first Hey of the name Havaya, travels through, and once it reaches the Yesod, that is what is called Yosef. Now let's go back to our board. You remember we are going to the conclusion of our remote now. Let's talk about Za. Yesterday I used only 2 Sefirot. No, 3. Netzach, Hod, and the Yesod. Why am I using this? Well, one is to save time. Okay, but let me do this Now, bear with me. This is Sephirah, as you can see on the board. You are familiar with that now. Shouldn't be difficult for you, although that is not the only thing there is. Every this world, or every of this Sephirah, you have got the name Havaya in it. It's not a subject for now, but just to let you know, what if you know this, don't think that that is all there is. No. Here, Arya Kadosh is saying the Yesod is called Kol. Is called Kol. The Yesod is called Kol. Why would we say that? Why would this? Why is it called Kol? And he said, all these Sephirot, the upper world, all upper Sephirot, their energy, their influences, they all are in Dava. They all meet in one place. And what is that place? Either of the three X's, whether we call, let's put, for example, the world of Keter there. And you do have got now, I mean, not now, you have got three axes. The only straight axis to this is from Keter to that and to Yesod. But you have got left and right. Regardless, all these three, they all meet. They all meet. Or they pour their influences, their light into Yesod. Now, this Yesod has to go into union with Nukva, which is Malchut. And again, look at these letters. Look at this letter. What is the letter before Kaf? I mean, sorry, not Kaf. After the letter Lamed. After these two letters. I'm bringing I'm bringing an aspect that we should I want you to look at these things or this word very critically. The next letter in the Hebrew alphabet after these two letters, they are in order. Kaf Lamed. Then the next letter after those two letters is Mem. Right? So now this letter, if we change the position of letters, right, then we will come to the word Melech. So in other words, okay, we will get there. There's a lesson. We'll get there because I will end with that. Yes. So, why did they slander? Ariya Kadosh here seems to give us a picture of ourselves, how we look at in the situation, how we look at into others. Ariya Kadosh seems to give us a picture that we project our own flow to others. For example, you look at into the situation of that you are not familiar with. You see me get out of the bar, you said, oh, well, tomorrow you conclude. He said, drunkard, just because you saw me coming from the bar. And we look at also from economic and from political angles. How do we judge our opponent? They are not fit to rule. He is not fit to rule or to lead. He is not what? He is not. You even go back to his childhood. Do you know how I used to beat him at school? Yes. Do you know that this person of this this person of this flow cannot lead? Who says that the person you know, or with all this, is still? I know. One of my rabbis is really torturing me. Never mind. Who says that the person is still harboring the same thing that he was doing before? Even if he was doing it before, why? Never mind. So we project ourselves when we look into the reality of another person. And we project our own weaknesses. We project our own weaknesses, our own flaws into the life of another person. This is the idea I'm deriving from the teaching of Ariya Kadosh. When they say he's a slave or they are slaves, meaning Joseph was saying, he assumed to say to his father, no, look, dead father, my brothers are teasing, are making mockeries of others. As a result of that, when he came to meet his brother, what did they say? They said, yes, look at the dreamer of dreams. We project. So they sat in the judgment to decide what to do with him. Okay, we have got two pictures here. They assume that their brother was reported to his father. And that assumption led to many, many things, as we know. Perhaps little did they know that of the stature of their own brother, Joseph. Let's come back now to the word call. Call call seems to suggest Malchut. Why? Because this very first letter, Kaf, is the beginning of the 12 letters in the Hebrew alphabet. We will come to there, Besot Hashem, sometime. We are studying Torah and we are delving into Torah. This belongs to the 12 letters of Hebrew alphabet, which are dealing with the Malchut, the feminine. Which is this feminine? The last hey of the word Havaya. And now let's go back to, where did I put my place? Hey. On Shabbat, after Shacharit, after Ishtabach, the first bracha, before we get to Shema, the first bracha, what do we say? Baruch atah Hashem Elokeinu melech haolam yotzer or ve'orei choshech osher shalom uvorei et hakol. Look at the word hakol is being emphasized with the definite article, meaning, with a sorry. With a hey. But that first hey is also it's very significant. Very well. I'm implying that there are no significant letter. Khalila. I'm referring to the position. Why to the position in terms of emphasis? Why would do it? Okay. That bracha, when you count Hakol, you find it 6 times. It appears in there 6 times. What does it allude to? It alluded to the word of Zah. The word of Zah is 6 letters. 6 Sefirot. From Tefilet, from until we come to Yesod. And the Yosef is said he is a light, as we have described, from upper there to this level. Once he reaches there, he becomes Yosef. Not when. When the light reaches that level, it becomes Yosef. 6 times we read Hakol on Shabbat. It refers to this. And let's go. Oh, time. Bear with me. I'm using the word call that Yara Kadosh said is Ariagato says, all the upper Sephirot, they all meet into where? Into Yesod. Yesod, that is called, in English, is called the foundation. It's called Hakol, Kol. Kol, I want you to pay attention to that. Like always, let's look at the inner value of the two letters. We know that without going, before we get there to the inner force of these two letters, we know that the gematria value of these two letters is what? Is 50. And we know what is 50 all about. We know not long ago, no, I shouldn't use that. It's our daily limud. 50 gates of wisdom. Referring to what? Referring to Bina. The first hay. The hay that is always in Yehud with Yud. Their light, once they reach, or not their light, once that light reach the Yesod, it becomes Yosef. Then we are talking about also wisdom here. We are talking about not wisdom. We are talking about the mochin. The mochin that is truly developed. So, yeah, I wanted to believe so. So let's look at the inner force. The inner force of this, we know the inner force of these two letters. Lamed is 26. And the Kaf itself is 20. Equals to 46. I'm glad that one of my rabbinim just walked in. What is 46? If I transform this 46 into letters, what do I have? Mav. Mu. Yes, mu. Exactly. Yes. Mu. Mem. Vav. In our eating, when we eat, and we know what we eating is. If you follow Bozina Kadisha's on, all the limudim that we do, we know that we don't eat without kavanah, because it's not about the physical satiation, it's the purpose of life. When we talk about eat, or eating, we talk about yichud. And when we talk about yichud, we talk about the union between a man and a wife in a proper way, in the Torah way, not according to my own desire and the feelings, and not according to the time, my own time, according to the time that the Chazal have directed and instructed. So I wanted to believe that they were accusing Joseph of the same thing that probably they were guilty of. Why would they say that they sat on and they were eating? Did they eat? And then we know that anything to do with eating without kavanah or kavanot, Rabbi Pinchas taught me, not only me as an individual, but he's a student. Whoever came here, we're taught the same thing, to be careful about eating. Because that in itself, it tells us that any flow in the kavanot in terms of eating, it shows that our atarot, our brit milas, our brit milot, this is something is wrong with it. He taught me, don't even ask, just look at how a person is behaving. Look at how his wife behaves. It tells you something. Eating is not literally just eating. Yes, it manifests itself in literal eating. But what we mean, or what is meant by the Torah scholars, not a scholar in terms of conventional understanding of the word scholar, but Torah Chachamim. When they talk about eating, they talk about the yichud, the union. Dear friend, I wanted to believe that because this is connected to Yesod, it's easy for somebody to blemish his Yesod. Perhaps because we do have got to, as Arya Kadosh said previously in a previous passage, the tongue is also in a principle of Yesod. The way we speak, we are too rote in our speech, not only in our mind, but yet also we do also have got to atarot. Lemata, lemala. Here on the head. Dear friend, what I'm trying to say here is, to the best of my ability, what I read, what I learned, is that you and I should be very, very careful when we look at into situations. The fact that you know somebody, the fact that we have to be careful, but the main point is, economy dot, and this is all what it's all about. We cannot achieve, whether you are a religious Jew or not. I remember one of the great rabbi of the time also said, you know, I like non-Jews because they don't fake. When they don't fake about their way of life, but come to the man who claims to be the man of Torah, they fake. They smile at me. They smile with me. Oh, brother, tell me about your story. How? Yet tomorrow when you find them in the Beit Midrash or wherever, you call me idol worship. You call me, oh no, he was an idol worshiper. What about your Lashon Hara? Okay, assume that I was. Is it not said who created this side, he has also created on the other side? If you were given instruction and if the Torah prohibits you to speak Lashon Hara, What is the word Chamocha? If the Torah prevented you to speak Lashon Hara, is it not the same one who talked about Avodah Zarah? Why do you have to separate them? To look at yourself as a holy person? I beg, it is written. Ben Shai taught that as long as you live that life, the life of, not the life of Torah, it's unfortunately that you are also part of Umot Olam. I beg. It's the same. So, I have never been Avodah Zarah. It was imposed on me. I beg, it was imposed on me. It was imposed on my tribe. It was imposed on my family. Accept the cross. Or we burn your life. Okay, they were not threatened that way, but many communities were reduced to that level. It's true. It's not only what I'm saying, it's what they also saying. The cross now is the gold. I should worship money. My dear friend from Namibia who did ask me about countries that you, in your eyes, you said they are developed. Look at ourselves, we are not developed. Do not fall into that trap. Claim your own identity. That is your source of richness. My Rosh Yeshiva just gave a lesson yesterday and said, everything that you see is just an illusion. It's not about your gold, your silver. It's an illusion. I wanted to have my identity, my spirituality. Then I talk about diamond and gold. Thank you very much, friends. I enter my limud here for today, and we meet tomorrow, B'ezrat Hashem. Thank you very much for affording me this is space to learn with you. If there is any question, please do not hesitate to send that in the group. Or if you have got one of our numbers, do not also hesitate. Baruch Adonai leolam, amen v'amen.